Hello and welcome. You're watching Greenwich Live Sessions. This is your host Umar Khan, and I'm back with another show, another guest, and I'm super excited for today's show because the guest that I have is a super amazing person. And how can I introduce him? I've got so much to say about him. He is the founder and CEO of HoverRobotix and founding president of MentorX, a man of his dreams, conferred with global civilian honor the Karmavir Chakra and the Noble Asian of the Year in 2018. He has done his MBA from Australia and PhD in robotics and artificial intelligence from USA. He is the pioneer of hoverboards, the e-mobility revolution in India. With his futuristic idea of HoverRobotix, he has been appointed as mentor of change by the government of India, Niti Aayog, the very visionary Dr. Munish Jindal. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Namaste. Thank you, Amar. It's great and it's a privilege to be at your show. Thank you. A heartfelt gratitude to you for making me part of your wonderful show.
You're most welcome, and we're truly honored. And I'm so excited that we're having this conversation. And it's always so good to have an interaction with such a visionary person who has such a vision, who thinks so much, and is so innovative. So I would like to thank you for taking out time. And how is everything at your end in India? Because we know we are in this situation of COVID-19.
Everything is so far looks under control. And to be very honest, from past 2 months, we are under lockdown, sitting at home, not going out, following the instructions, following this, so that not only we save ourselves, we shall save humanity. That is very much necessary. We shall be thinking in a larger picture, in a bigger picture, and we
Absolutely.
shall be thinking as the world as a whole. So things so far are under control. And if you ask me, I'm at home having the good time of my life with my family, being safe, and just trying to enrich masses from home.
Absolutely, and it's a big responsibility for all of us to keep ourselves safe and the humanity safe because following the instructions right now is very essential.
Yes, that is what we are trying to do, because this is the time we all know what we're going through, and you know what the best part is, all we have been asked is to stay at home. Imagine, I mean, how easy it is if you go back into the history when the great wars were fought. Your great grandfathers or your fathers, they had to fight the war, and you are at home, and you weren't sure whether you're safe or not. And now the only thing that has been asked to you is stay at home. How wonderful, how safe it is. And the best part is, like, in our routine life, everyday life, when we talk to our friends or anyone, we if we ask them that what they want to do, they would talk so many things, that they want to do this, they want to nurture their hobbies, they want to play sports. All they don't have is time, and that time is now. Now you have all that time. Why don't you nurture your hobbies, play the sport you want, and or write that long pending book, you know
Absolutely. And what I believe is this is the time to look into yourself. You know, life is giving us a second chance of making
True.
everything correct. And once we get to normal life, I think we can do a lot of things in a much better way, as we've seen during this lockdown period when there is less interaction and less human traffic on the earth and around the globe. So we've seen that Mother Earth is also healing. We've seen that
True.
polluted air is being healed. The ozone layer is being healed. So I think humans should get the silent message from the Mother Earth that it's time that we look into the things that we're doing wrong and start over a new page with a better version of our own selves. And absolutely, we do have the time to do everything that we used to love. But by human nature, people, when they are told to do something or they're forced to do something, they won't like it. But they want to do
Yes.
it by choice. But once if they're forced, they will even hate the thing that they love. So this is the one thing that we need to change and spread awareness amongst people.
See, it is you can take it is since the time we born. Whenever, even if when we were a kid, if we were asked to don't do this, we really want to do that only. All the life we have been craving that we get some time to spend with the family, we get some time for ourselves. Now when they it has been asked to do, then it is like, how dare you are asking us, how can you ask us to stay home, you know. Otherwise internally we had been craving for this time to be with our families, to be to introspect, to heal ourselves as well. I will be very honest with you, I'm noticing change in myself as well. I'm feeling my body is healing as well, you know.
Right.
I'm feeling more fitter, more energetic in life. And as you truly said, earth is healing as well. All the water bodies, water channels, they have cured themselves, they are totally clean. India has billion-dollar projects to clean its water channels, and it wasn't able to do it over several years, which has happened in just a span of few weeks. The water channels have gone transparent, and they're so green. We are loving it. That is why when people ask me what about after pandemic, I tell them a beautiful world is waiting for you out there.
Absolutely.
Clean air, much purer water, beautiful mountains, and serene beaches. Trust me, you guys going to fall in love with the world. But then I also say them a message that kindly make sure now you keep it clean.
Yes, we better do keep that clean. So you mentioned about the youngsters and the people, they have this thing that they don't want to be forced for things. You started a project named MentorX, which deals with this and so much more. And that's absolutely a brilliant and beautiful project that you started. Please tell our audience a bit about MentorX, how you realize that, you have to start something like that, and what is it all about?
See, when like they say, when you reach at a certain stage in life, you shall pay back to the society. And payback doesn't only comes in terms of say finances or giving them the goods. It is also the knowledge sharing as well.
True.
I felt that whatever I have earned, learned, or my experiences over life, I shall share it with others. The journey started with that, and then the vision got enlarged that we shall enrich masses across the globe with the right people who hold the expertise or the knowledge. So MentorX is a platform. On one side, there are people who hold experience or knowledge, expertise of their field. Other side, the masses whom we can enrich. So global platform we shaped up, it's a revolution for the entire world with a vision to educate, empower, and elevate, whereby we are educating, not the education of the schools or the universities, though that is very much necessary, but we're trying to break the traditional barriers and inculcating life skills, the real life knowledge that is required. Then we are empowering people. People are empowered. I always say that the empowerment, when we say we are empowering people, that's not true. People are empowered already. All we need to do with them is show them a spark, give them a direction. That's it. We are doing that for the youth, for the startups. And then there are people who might be settled in their life, earning their living or doing good, but they're not growing. We are elevating them to new level. So it's a mass movement. We are already thriving in 20 countries. This mission I started last year. In a span of a year, we are already thriving in 20 plus countries now with the country heads,
Wow.
city heads, district heads. And
Wow.
this has turned into a mass revolution at a global level.
Absolutely, and it's actually the need of the moment. I would just relate it with a short story that when elephant is a baby, it's been tied in the zoo with a steel chain. So when the elephant is little, it tries to move, but it can't because he is tied to a chain. But that elephant, when he grows up, he has the power to break walls and tens and thousands of that kinds of chain. But since it's feeded in his brain that he cannot move forward this chain, he never tries to break it. So that's the exact thing what young
Yes.
students get when they are not guided in the right direction. They are told to stay in their limits. They are stopped from dreaming. They are stopped from being, do something different. So I think this is a very brilliant initiative that you have started, because a human brain is limitless. And if we
True.
as humans will put limits towards the brain, we are stopping that growth. We are stopping that innovations. If we look at the past, the all the brilliant minds, all the innovators, all the people who were in the past, of course, known as the creative people, at first they were never understood. Munish, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm there, but It's saying that I have suddenly lost the camera connection. I don't know why.
All right.
Just a second.
I'm glad we
Yes.
can. Yes, I'm glad we can hear you. So, continuing my point that every person. Okay, finally we're back. So, I think your good looks are too much to handle for the TV screen.
Maybe your intellect is overpowering my looks, so that is why your intellect has just shut down the camera
Yes,
automatically.
you should look a bit less attractive because camera cannot handle you. You know, it's saying the person is too
Oh man,
attractive
thank
to
you. I
handle.
take it coming from wonderful Umair, I accept it as a compliment.
Thank you so much. So,
Thank you. So
yes, every genius person in the past, you talk about Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, and every single innovator were not accepted at first because they were ahead of time. So, I think MentorX is a beautiful project that creates the awareness of people to accept what is different, to accept the innovators, to accept people with visions.
true, very true. So you already said rightly, which we say in our language is unwiring. When you gave the example of that elephant with the chain, same thing we say that what we humans we do is we wire our brains. We are
Right,
wired. That
right,
we only think from that perspective only. We have to unwire ourselves, break
true.
those barriers, and the entire universe is yours. Every single given human being has exponential power to command the entire universe. But what happens is, due to the same story of the elephant and the chain, we wire ourselves and we narrow down our vision. So that is why I say that your limits are limitless. There are no limits for you. Exponential. There is a guy who is thinking to put an elevator from Earth to Moon. So imagine how big he has thought. And today we might be thinking it's a vague idea, but trust me, in near future it would be possible.
Absolutely, and we also know that you brought innovation in hoverboards in India. In our childhood, we used to watch that movie Back to the Future, and it was just an idea. But you brought that idea to reality. You know, you changed the game for India, and overall, you brought artificial intelligence into the hoverboards. We'll be talking about that, of course, as well, because when you think about something, you know, then the mind can find the ways to how to achieve it. So, linking this point to the limitless thing, please tell us about the hoverboards and the whole hover robotics thing that you discovered and you visioned.
Umair, what happened was, since childhood I realized I was very inclined towards Hollywood science fiction movies. Whenever used to come to know that there is a Hollywood science fiction movie getting released, I used to rush to theater. Then I always had a dream and a vision to do something different for my country, for India. And you already know that we have the same story. We're facing going through the pollution, too much of pollution and dependence on this non-renewable resources like petrol and diesel. So I always wanted to do something different. So I thought of bringing this e-mobility, electronic mobility era in India, and that we launched through hoverboards. Hoverboards are basically e-mobility robots, Autobots, and self-balancing bots. We launched it with a vision so that everyone shall commute on these electrically chargeable hoverboards, not and we shall reduce our reliance on petrol and diesel. Along with, we shouldn't be causing any pollution, and there shouldn't be no traffic congestion. And as you rightly said, I loved it when you said that the biggest of the scientists or the biggest of the creators or innovators, they weren't accepted at first. Same happened with me. We weren't accepted at first. They said, who needs a hoverboard? What is a hoverboard?
Absolutely.
Then what we did was the few prototypes I made, I opened them up. I did few of the road shows in India. That okay, guys, I used to park them on a roadside. Guys, ride them, they're free of cost. Just enjoy the ride. Have a ride of a robot or an Autobot. We used to
Right.
make the videos and click pictures and make them viral. And now we are number one in India, and we are featured among top five in the world.
Absolutely. So the reasons behind these sessions and the conversation we're having, that what we try to do is create that awareness. We try to make people accept innovations. We try to make people accept that there's so much more to the world than the traditional things that we have been doing. Like take example of this COVID-19. Many people who are very comfortable walking with the traditional way that they've been following for hundreds of years, but now forcefully when they have been shifted towards the online system, many people already adapted and they were comfortable with it. But people who were not ready to shift to online, who were reluctant to accept this new form, and now they are having trouble. So accepting the change and adapting is one thing that humans should do, and we have to spread that awareness because it's very essential for growth.
True, very true. See, one is we have to be spontaneous in life. Let the life unfold. Why we have to be rigid in life? Enjoy the life, live the life as it comes, and live it
True.
with abundance and gratitude. First, always be grateful for what you have. Life has given you so much, and never stop dreaming. Dream as big as you can, as big as you can. Trust
Ab-
me, all as I told you, every human can achieve anything in this world. So dream as big as you can. As you asked me, you know what happened? I was a second generation entrepreneur. I used to work with my dad. But
right,
that I realized I wasn't enjoying it. Like as
right.
I told you, since childhood I was very inclined towards science fiction. So I thought,
Wow.
man, this is not you. I had a huge cabin, money flowing in, luxury life, everything, but I wasn't cherishing it. I walked out of this company. I said, I don't want to do it, Dad. I'm not loving it. That
Wow.
day, I just had 35,000 rupees in my pocket. And from there, I started this HoverRobotix. Just with those 35,000 rupees. And why I'm telling this is, I come across youth who have startup ideas. They say, I have a big idea. I can change the world, but I don't have money. I tell them, if you are truly dedicated and determined towards your dream, you don't need money. All you need
I
is that determination and focus.
I
I
totally
started with that 35,000 rupees, as I told you, made the prototypes, gave the free rides. From there, whatever I made, I pooled it into this company itself. And Amir, I launched this in 2015 to this 2020. I have rejected funding three times from the venture capitalists. Until date, it's a self-funded venture.
wow. That
From
is
there, from 35,000 rupees to making it number one in India and top five in the world. If I
absolutely
can
that.
do it, I'm another, and just another human being like others. Like they have
True.
the dreams. I saw a dream too, and I just saw a dream to do something different for myself and for my country. So everyone can do it.
Absolutely. I totally agree to it that when you have a passion for something, you are dedicated to something, the only thing that stops you is you yourself. Your thoughts that you have, the negative things that runs in your mind, that's the only thing that stops you. Because what I personally believe is if someone is making fun of you, if someone is saying it's impossible to do it, I think these are all source of motivation for me because it always seems impossible until it's done. So we'll be including some messages from our audience, and we're honored to have our Honorable Chancellor with us, Madam Seema Mughal. Writes, I would like to share here that Munish inaugurated our incubation center at our Mauritius campus, and some startup projects have stabilized as well. We look forward to be in contact after COVID-19. Munish, thank you for keeping the contact.
Oh, my pleasure. Seema ma'am is here. It's a big, big, big honor, big pleasure, and I'm privileged. Thank you, Mayor. Trust me, now this thank you is coming from the deepest core of my heart that you got me a message of Seema ma'am. I regard her a lot. I hold her very high. And yes, I've met her so many times in Mauritius. We have shared our dinners together, our long talks together. And yes, we together inaugurated an incubation center in Mauritius, in Greenwich University, to guide the youth. And best part, how I tell you about Seema ma'am, how such a big heart she holds. The day we inaugurated the incubation center, she said that this incubation center won't only for Greenwich University, but it would be open to entire Mauritius. Imagine the size of her heart. Imagine the love she holds for people. So I love that, and we have done various programs over there. And after the COVID-19, I'm soon going to visit there again, and we are going to grow this manifold. I have so many programs, and I have so many plans in my mind, which are going to go multifold in this incubation center at Greenwich University.
Definitely, inshallah, we'll use the include the next message, and this is from Ma'am Shireen Motala, another wonderful personality and a visionary person. She says, "Namaste from Mauritius, very inspiring, Mr. Jindal."
Oh my God, Madam Mochala, namaste to you. And I'm blessed, Madam Mochala, to see you here. Umesh, she is another wonderful lady, one of the most wonderful lady. and then she'll tell you she's the most influential woman in Mauritius.
Absolutely, she is.
And
We had the honor to host her a couple of days back, and we all got to see the
wow,
inspiring words she had to share and her experience. It was a complete, indeed, a treat for all of the audience as well.
wow, that's so great to know. And I really want to let you know, May, and all the audience, that despite being the most influential women in Mauritius, she's so humble, she's so down to earth, she's so rooted that I haven't come across a second human being like her in my
Indeed,
entire life. I
indeed.
adore her for that, and I get to learn a lot that the kind of stature she commands, and still she's so humble. I learn a lot from her. And thanks to you, Madam Mutala, for being part of this session.
Absolutely. So, Manish, will take our conversation further. We discussed artificial intelligence and whole robotics, and right now the COVID-19 situation. This is the time where we actually need these things, to implement in our life and help people to adapt. Because this is the best time where people can accept that change. Because it is something that they have to do. How do you think artificial intelligence and robotics could help us in these testing times, help the industry, help the businesses, help the education to get going?
Oh my God, Omer, you have asked me a question that is so close to my heart. Trust me. And this is my, you can say, fourth talk since morning. And today morning itself, I was showing someone the technologies you're talking, artificial intelligence. Omer, what if, will you believe me if I say that stay wherever you are, keep sitting there, and supposedly if you have to visit Mauritius or you have to visit Japan, without moving from your chair, I can project you in Japan or in Mauritius. Not me. There is a technology I meant. There is this technology called HoloLens. It's been developed by Microsoft. You keep sitting at the comfort of your home. Supposedly, you have to visit your office or you have to attend any summit. This HoloLens projects your life-size hologram in anywhere in the world you want. And the best part about that is, if you are in France and you have to talk in French and you don't know French, your hologram will start speaking French. It will start speaking Turkish or Japanese, whatever language you want or whatever you want to do. It would be out. It would be even smarter than you. That is just one part of the technology. Same way, this artificial intelligence is taking over so vastly. Even if during the COVID-19, you asked me when we need to check the temperature of human being, we're doing it through thermal temperatures one by one. It is time consuming. Imagine an artificially intelligent camera installed with a thermal rays, and it is just continually monitoring everyone, and it can recognize, if even if one single person has a temperature, it can recognize through the face recognition technology and send the message to the system and shoot a message to that human being as well on their cell phone that you need to visit your medical practitioner.
Wow.
That is another part of the technology. And same way, if you talk about technology is vast. We don't need to have to travel. And again, take it this way: we both belong to different part of the world, and right now we are sitting together. This is again technology.
Absolutely.
See
Absolutely.
how
And
amazing this is, and this is going to take a vast shape. What has happened? I'm talking to people, and they're cribbing that it's pandemic. We're locked down at the home in this and that. We're not able to work. You know what has happened with us? We went live. We went digital, 100% digital, just in a span of 24 hours. The day lockdown happened, next day we were 100% digital, and in the span of past 5 weeks, we have got a growth of 500%. 500% growth in span of 5 weeks.
absolutely.
Technology.
These are absolutely amazing numbers. And actually, when we talk about, you mentioned the science fiction movies and everything. So everything that I've seen in the past 20 years, you're making everything come to reality. Because I always used to question that when will we get the hologram access for common people? And now here you are trying to create something for everyone, easy access. Because we know that hologram has been invented, but it's not accessible for the common man. But what you're trying to do here is you're going to make it accessible for every common man, and that I think is brilliant. So a big salute of respect to you
Thank you.
for
Thank you. Thank you.
making
Thank you.
such innovations to make life easier, to make everything much more better. And I wish you all the best for the success of this project.
Thank you, May. This is what my life rotates around. One is innovation and creation. Second is education, imparting. I say that don't give them bread, make them the bread earners. So one is we keep enriching masses through the innovation or whatever we can create to make life easier. Second is give them that fair share of knowledge, transfer that technology to them, so they can put it to better use. I have so many interns. Would you believe if I say that the youngest intern working with me is just 11 years old, and he
Wow.
has made Alexa at home. We got him connected to Amazon's backend developing team, and he made Alexa at home. So
That's
right
amazing.
now, I'm nurturing kids from the 11 years old. And yesterday, day before yesterday, I did FDP, that is Faculty Development Program, where I trained professors of the age of 50 years or 60 years who have been teaching from past 35 years. And I trained 150 university teachers across the globe. So right
Wow.
from 11 years, I am transferring knowledge to a 60 years old. So giving my best, giving whatever I have inside me, I'm just sharing them. Why? Sometimes people question, why are you doing it? I say, let them put it to better use. Or who knows, whatever I'm sharing, they might come with a better version of that, and I would be able to put it to better use in my work.
Wow. Absolutely
Now,
true.
few of my students are trying their hands on a hoverboard or better technologies to develop them through 3D printers. We are in a process of setting up a center of excellence with two of the universities where we are transferring our skill set, our technologies to them, and they will enhance it using their 3D printers, and that would be done by students. Imagine the kind of the clan we would be creating.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's brilliant. And we were discussing something before the program started, and I said that definitely we're going to generate some ideas during this conversation. So while you discussed about the artificial intelligence, and while you said that the artificial intelligence would be smarter than the original person, so I have this idea. I would like to share it with you and all the audience. So when you have this artificial intelligence technology, we know that in India and in Pakistan, there's a lot of people who lies under the poverty line, who are not that much educated. So during these testing times, if we create some artificial intelligence, get it into a nano chip, get them installed into their fingers or anything, and when they are unable to understand or communicate the technology or get access to it, they can simply use that artificial intelligence to use that online systems, to use that artificial intelligence to remove that barrier that they have because of lack of education. What do you think about that?
True that, true, very true. I totally agree with you. And there are if we talk about these technology oriented companies like Google, Microsoft, they all are working big time. Now, say, take a simple example. Buy any phone, maybe any Android phone, any given phone, speak to it in your local language. See, whosoever is poor, I am totally in sync with you that they don't have the resources, but they know how to speak, or they know any kind of language. Speak to it, and
True.
that phone would search things for you, and it can even translate that to the language you want. You come
Absolutely.
across a person who's speaking maybe Punjabi or a French, and we want to convey it in English or in Japanese. That can be done. Right.
Absolutely.
In the same way, now what we are doing is we are developing artificial intelligence and robotics programs, workshops, free of cost and certified for the people who cannot afford it, for the
Wow.
underprivileged. We are doing it free of cost. I'm personally taking, I'm available online as well. Supposedly, if someday you want to put my session anywhere in the world, I'm doing it free of cost initiative, and it would be certified. Everyone would get their know-how, artificial intelligence, robotics, entrepreneurship at any age they want, and they would get a certificate as well for the same, that yes, they can showcase that they attended the workshop and they have the basic skills of that, whatever they learn, what they're talking about.
Munish, everything that you do is, just making me more and more inspired, because one by one, you just keep telling me about the brilliant things you have in mind and you have been doing. And everything is just so amazing and mind blowing that I think this is the way we all need to think. This is the way we all need to move forward, by lifting everyone else up, by helping people who are below the line in education and awareness. I think if everyone can move in this direction, soon we can help the world out of poverty and the lack of education.
True, very true. Totally agree. Even you're saying everyone, I say even if one out of thousand starts thinking like this, I deliver my keynotes, my lectures in universities, various universities, schools, and colleges. There are 1,500 students, or 500, or 2,500 students. They listen to me. You know, I say even if my this session would be able to change one life, my session is successful.
Wow, that
And
is
certain
brilliant.
and certain times I have received calls from students after a year and a half that, sir, you came down to our university. I listened to you 1.5 years ago, and now I'm doing this. While studying, I've set up my venture. And they say credit goes to you. I say, I'm no one. I was a student like you. Whatever I've done in life, I've just shared my journey. You got inspired. It's your hard work, whatever you have done. The only thing is, listening to me, you got a spark in yourself that if he can do it, I can do it. That is the only difference. That if he can do it, I can do it. That is what I say to everyone. If I can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely right. And that's the little spark, the little push everyone needs to move forward. And we need to change this mentality. You said, if he can do it, I can do it. But many people think like this, that if he can do it, let him do it. So the thing is, we need to change this mentality. We need to change this mentality, and we need to stay motivated in saying that if he can do it, I can also do it. And together we can do it better. This is the mentality we need to change the world. And it was so wonderful talking to you. I think we can go for hours and hours. We definitely keep another session which we can get on to more different ideas, to more innovations to serve and help the world. But before I leave, I want to know a few things on the lighter side. You've created hoverboard. I would request you to create one that can fly. I really want to fly. So when can
I
we?
so Omar, I so wish I could show you whenever I give my artificial intelligence presentation. You know how it starts? No name, no company name, nothing. A man flying on a hoverboard. That
Wow.
is what we're making.
So
That is
basically,
what
what
we're making.
so what I think you're actually on it. So see, we think so much alike.
Yes. So the any presentation, anything of mine, whatever I do, it opens with a man flying on a hover. And then I ask, what did you see? How's the excitement? Then people are like, oh my God, what did he show us? And that is what we are working on. And in the near future, I am sure I am going to make you fly. For sure. I bet
Definitely,
you this. I'm
definitely.
betting this on a national channel for you that I'm going to make you fly. For
And the
sure,
first,
man.
my first trip would be to Ludhiana on that hoverboard to come to meet you.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
Inshallah, definitely. So before we leave, your one word for Greenwich family.
Oh, the Greenwich family, they are a wonderful family. They hold the biggest of the hearts ever possible I have seen. I just say, please kindly keep doing whatever you're doing with all the kindness. The entire family, Seema ma'am, Naveed, Rab Nawaz, everyone, they're doing so much for humanity without giving it a second thought. You know, when you sit with them, you just talk them that, let's do it. It's for the good. And you know what they would say? They won't even think. They say, okay, let's do it. If it's good for people, let's do it. And they don't even think about the overheads they are going to incur on it. So kindly keep doing your good work. You're already doing so much for humanity, and you're doing in different continents of the world. Please keep doing, and wherever I could be part of it, I'm available 24x7. Let's
Absolutely.
make the humanity rise. Thank
And
you.
the entire Greenwich family is also behind you, Manish, for all the wonderful things that you have been doing, and we support you and everything. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm very much here, and
So,
I don't know what has happened to the. Yes, I'm back with you.
so whenever you start looking very nice. The camera says, "I can't handle it anymore." So the camera. So you should stop looking so good. I said,
Oh
yeah,
man, it's a double charm. You know, cameras are saying it's a two-way charm. There is Omer, here's Dr. Munish. What shall I do? So back to you. Thank you for hosting me, and here's a salute to you.
no, no, salute to you as well. And before we leave this program, I would like you to give a message for all our youngsters, for all our audience, because a person with your vision, with your mindset, I think they really need some advice of yours.
I just say them dream big as you can, right? Don't compete with your colleagues, coordinate. Teamwork is most important, make others rise. You don't know, you have no clue how much it's going to come back to you. It's going to be multifold and a magic is going to unfold to you. Just make others rise. And
Wow.
you are good to go.
Absolutely. So that is one beautiful advice. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Munish Jindal, the founder and president of MentorX, and also robotics, the thing that you created is just brilliant, and all the things that you have in mind for the future. I wish you all the best, and I really hope that I get that flying overboard so I can fly around the
Sure,
street.
pretty soon.
Thank you so much
Thank
once
you.
again.
Namaste.
So you definitely heard Dr. Munish Jindal and the wonderful things that he plans to do in the near future. And one thing that we have learned from this session is that never limit yourself. Always aim for the stars. That even if you don't reach the stars, you'll always end up reaching somewhere much higher than you targeted yourself. So never limit yourself, keep going, believe in yourself, and never feel demotivated. So that was all for today's session. We'll be back tomorrow with another session, another guest. If there's any topic you want to talk on or you want to know about, you can always give your feedback in the comments. We'll definitely be back tomorrow with another session, another guest. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe, and Allah Hafiz.